All right, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to watch something here called Jack's Back, James Spader. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with a woman being chased.
He photographs his victims. This one was number 4. Each woman was murdered 100 years to the day from the original Jack the Ripper murder.
So you have a Jack the Ripper copycat 100 years later.
Robert.
And this is James Spader. He plays
Alexis,
John.
Jamie and Ricky. Ricky, huh?
He's a doctor or
Ricky.
almost doctor.
See, I could have told you that. I got
Fast, bounce out of here so fast it'll make your head swim.
This is his boss, Dr. Sidney Tannerson. He's kind of a prick.
Writing a letter to the Board of Regents. Consider yourself on probation. Do I make myself clear?
CHPs
The
and the
cops are
sheriff's
after the
gonna
killer.
have details out there tonight, along with the feds. Now, I expect you to show them every courtesy, but I also expect you to be the ones to bring this maggot in.
This lady has victim written all over her.
I can get rid of it for you.
This is Jack. He's a co-worker of John.
How
And he's going to give an illegal abortion to her.
200.
Are you gonna do it here?
Of course.
Things didn't go well. And John shows up.
Jack, what have you done?
The chase ensues as John goes after Jack.
So who did it?
It's not what you think, John. I didn't kill her. Aren't you gonna believe me?
Jack admits that he gave her an abortion and says he didn't kill her. But John didn't believe him, so he's gonna kill John. Just in case he wasn't quite finished him, he's gonna string him up. Just as John goes through his death throes, his twin brother Richard. The police think they got their man.
It was a medical student by the name of John Westford. He hung himself. He knew we were closing in on him. And we've done something even Scotland Yard couldn't do. We've caught Jack the Ripper.
My brother was murdered. How do you know? Saw it. You were there? No, I saw it. Nightmare.
Either he's telling the truth or he killed his own brother.
Well, which is it?
I don't know. There have been cases documented where twins knew the exact moment of their sibling's death.
So he hypnotizes him.
What is it, Richard? Tell me what you see.
How do you know? You were an eyewitness? Is he being held?
He's not being held.
What's the police department's position on this?
No comment. Move.
So, a new development with a murder.
Chris!
Fuck off, Sydney.
Chris is played by Cynthia Gibb, co-worker.
Excuse me. I'm really, really busy right now, but I can talk to you later if you'd like.
I saw it. Saw it last night in a nightmare.
The police are now pursuing Richard, who has left his apartment.
My uncle's an assistant manager there. James Finchley's his name.
And Westford was with you the whole time?
Yes, sir.
He never left your sight?
Not long enough for him to come all the way back here and murder that girl.
Right.
And we read that all these murders were supposed to be the work of one man.
So if John didn't do that one, we figure he couldn't have done any of them.
Right.
And now Jack is closing in on Richard. Or vice versa. Fast forward over to Chris's house and somebody's spying on her. She's getting ready for a shower or something.
Howdy.
Did you get an eyeful, asshole?
What?
Did you get an eyeful? Out back, peeking through my window.
When?
Just now.
Close your door and lock it. I don't know.
Richard decides to go buy a gun.
Take your pick.
You're gonna fry, motherfucker.
The cops show up just as the fight ends.
Brave! All right, hand back.
Well, you've given us quite a night. Pendler's real name is Jack Parmell, and he's confessed to the killing of your brother. He claims it was self-defense.
It's bullshit.
Our camera zooms in back on this scene, and we're now believing that Jack is not the new Jack the Ripper. Whoever's singing in the shower is.
I'm still having the dreams. I'm still having the fucking dreams.
I think I know why you're here, Richard. You know Jack Pendler isn't the Ripper.
He's getting another vision of his brother's death, and oh, it's his brother's boss. So Dr. Sidney is now going after Chris. Richard runs to the house and decides to jump through the window to catch him.
Open up in there!
And he turns the tables on the Ripper by killing him. All right, let's talk about the movie Jack's Back, starring James Spader. I actually used to have a gigantic box for this movie. It was from a video store that I used to work at. It was like probably 2 feet high and 1.5 feet wide. It was just a big honking thing that some video stores used to have, and they would hang them up and stuff. I remember it had Jack's Back on one side and had Friday the 13th Part 7 on the other. I still have that box somewhere at my parents' house, but I digress. Anyway, the movie came out in 1988, maybe, 89. I had this taped on a VHS tape with 3 other movies. I haven't seen it that many times over the years. I've seen it a couple times. It's probably been at least 20 years since the last time I saw this. I didn't remember anything about it. So what we have here is a copycat killer. Some guy is copying the Jack the Ripper murders. He's doing it 100 years later from the original murders to the day. He's killing everybody on the anniversary of the previous death 100 years earlier. James Spader plays 2 roles here. He plays John and Richard. John is a doctor, or he's like studying to be a doctor, and there's another doctor there who is going to perform an illegal abortion on this woman for $200, I think. Well, it gets botched somehow, and somehow John goes over there and he discovers the body. And then he confronts Jack, who is the coworker of his who was doing this. Jack says, "I didn't kill her. I was just did an abortion on her." But anyway, they get into a scuffle, and eventually Jack ends up killing John. So we're led to believe Jack is the killer here. It is his name, by the way, Jack. So he kills John because he didn't want any witnesses. Well, Richard, his twin brother, sees a vision of his brother getting killed because they have that, psychic link type of thing. He goes to the police. They don't believe him at first, but then he starts investigating on his own, and he tracks down Jack. They get into a few scuffles. Eventually, they get into a fight, and Jack gets arrested, and he is charged with all the murders that took place. There's a subplot here with Cynthia Gibb, who was Chris. She was a coworker of John's. She and Richard then become, they don't actually become like a boyfriend-girlfriend type thing, which kind of led you to believe that they would, but they actually didn't. But ultimately turns out that Jack isn't the killer either, because we see a vision, or we see a shot from inside the killer's apartment that he's still alive, still going. It turns out that the killer is actually this doctor, Dr. Sidney Tennyson or something like that, who is Jack's boss, Chris's boss, and John's boss. He was kind of an asshole, and he's the murderer. And somehow Richard puts this together and figures it out. Then he runs over to Chris's house because naturally he assumes tonight is the night he's going to kill Chris. Of course, he's right. He jumps through a window to try to stop him. They get into a fight, and he stabs him just as the cops show up. So he kills the real Jack the Ripper copycat killer, and that's how our movie ends. There you go. That's Jack's Back. 80s, I guess you could say 8 ladies horror movie. No nudity in this movie. Could have used some. Cynthia Gibb, I think she only did one nude scene in her career, and it wasn't in this one. It's an okay film. It's an okay film. A little bit of gore thrown in there. Yeah, I kind of like this movie, actually. Robert Picardo was in this as well. He played this like doctor psychiatrist type guy. And anybody else over now? I'm not even really sure. But anyway, that's Jack's Back. This was put out by Scream Factory. They put out the Blu-ray. Yeah, that's it. James Spader dual role. So got not much more to tell you about it. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Jack's Back. Watch it. Bye.